They face one chaotic element after another for the whole weekend. So, but they survive.
Awesome. I'm
Others
glad
don't.
they
Others
survived.
don't. They can leave
Others don't.
mayhem behind them, you know.
Joe Conjal says, "Hi, Linda. I love that you're giving your girlfriends a touch of immortality." And Robin Major laughed and said, "That's great. It is great."
Thank you. Thank you.
We think it's really cool too. Would you like
There's
to do a
I
reading?
would. I would like to preface it with this as well.
Okay.
We lost a really good friend from our class not too long ago, and he was a poet. And he was really sick, and I called him one day, and I said, "Would you write a poem for me to use at the beginning of the book?" And he said, "Oh, yes." He said, "Linda, you have given me a purpose for today," because he was in a lot of pain. And so I want to read the first stanza of the poem that he wrote. Fabulous friends are always completely faithful and true, and never hesitate a moment to circle their wagons around you. I had specifically asked that he write about friendship. And that's just the beginning of the poem. And he knows all of the girls in this group really, really well, and he knows how close we are to each other. So that poem at the beginning of the book means a great deal to me. As a friend, he did that for me. And it was one of the last poems he wrote. So, as the section that I'm going to read to you right now, the women are at the Circle R Ranch. They are sitting around the pool. They're going to relax. The maid has brought snacks and drinks and what have you out there. Romero Martin is there with them. He's the only male sitting out there now or standing, but he is their chauffeur for the weekend. But he's also their bodyguard based upon some things that happened in Magnolia Bluff prior to their arrival. So every year, the tradition is we have to tell a funny story about something that happened to us during the week. Um, these girls like to ham it up and like to show off and entertain each other. And so that's what's going to happen in this particular scene. The show began. Sharon, the MC, held her mic out for Anita. Miss Fashion Anita, would you like to say a few words about your latest design? Anita took the mic, aka a can of hairspray. My latest creation is perfecto for an afternoon beside the pool on a big Texas ranch with the sound of oil wells pumping black gold from the distance. Sharon shaded her eyes and peered at the distant horizon as if she were on a frigate searching for land. She shook her head. You mentioned Texas. Please explain what makes your newest line of swimwear set the tone for a perfect trip west of the Lampasas River. Note the colorful footwear, ma'am, Anita said. Well, how could she not? Heckled Janie. The remark brought a round of laughter from the audience. Jana gave a loud, indignant harump. With one hand on her hip, she shook her head and said to Anita, "You know, some people don't appreciate high fashion when they see it." She swiveled on one foot and extended one leg to draw attention to the hand-stitched boot with pink tulips floating up the outside. She looked at Anita. They need to know, don't you think? Anita nodded. You see, ladies, we're city girls. We've heard all about those wild redneck cowboys and how they like to grab young, innocent females, throw them on their ponies, and ride away into the sunset. Hmm, they can only hope, said Barbara. But innocent? Those two? I don't think so. I bet they'll be disappointed if they aren't abducted, said Janie. And we'll never hear the end of it, Caroline remarked. But if they are, they'll never stop bragging, Cheryl added. Jenna ignored their comments. So we decided, what did you decide? Asked Sharon. To be prepared for anything? Marita asked. Yeah, responded Jana. Mariachi music filled the air. Anita and Jana danced around the pool, showing off their swimsuits and Lucchese boots, waving their sombreros in the air. Laughter and hand claps urged them on. When the music ended, both women fell into chairs and fanned themselves. Romero grinned and said to Marita, who had stood up and was going to the bar for a drink. He asked, "Has anyone ever called you girls rowdy?" Marita turned to the others. "Hey, girls, this handsome dude thinks we're rowdy." "He ain't seen nothing yet," Jana crowed. "Why, when we were in school, we were known as the—" Her comment was caught short by the sound of a gunshot echoing its way across the ranch. A bullet struck a pane on one of the French doors and glass scattered everywhere. "Down!" yelled Romero. And that's the beginning of all the chaos and mayhem these girls face for the weekend.
That was great. That was really good.
Really good.
I liked that.
Now we got to find out what happens.
I know.